welcome back to McCall's Baking Kitchen channel. I'm Laura, and I have something very special and treat for you this week. Russian cupcakes. Okay, so to be honest, I'm not sure really where the name comes from because the cupcakes are not Russian, but the tips that we're going to be using have been given that name. So let's have fun. So let's start off with what you're going to need first. I'm using the McCalls Ready Ice White Decorator Icing. The trick with the Russian tips is that the icing you're using must be a crusting icing for the best results. I'm going to color some of my icing using the McCalls Gel Colors that are available in 2 sizes. The tools that we're going to be using are the Russian tips, which come in a variety of different designs. I'm just going to use a few to give you an idea. I like to use a 16-inch disposable bag, and the reason being is that these tips are fairly large, and the smaller bags, you're cutting half the bag away. A Russian tip coupler. I should warn you, bring your tips with you when you're shopping for a coupler. Not all tips fit the coupler. I'm using some 12-inch disposable bags and of course cupcakes. Unscrew the coupler. It comes in 2 parts, the nozzle and the ring. Drop the nozzle into the bag and score or mark the bag where the threading on the coupler starts. Now cut the bag at that marking. Place your tip on the outside of the bag and then screw the ring on and you're ready to go. Now let's load up our bags. Remember to turn down your bag making a cuff. Load the icing into your bag and push the icing down to the end of the bag. Twist the bag, cut the tip off, and you're ready to go. Now when using Russian tips, you'll have to remember you have to cut fairly large holes. I like to mask the top of all my cupcakes with Ready Ice. In this case, I'm going to be using green. So if I miss a few spots when I'm piping out my flowers, I can just add the leaves and no one will notice the difference. Now have a paper towel or dish towel nearby to clean off your tips. If you have dirty tips, you're going to have problems, I promise you. Remember to wipe your tip after every flower you make so that you're starting off with a clean tip. Now, with your tip resting on the top of your cupcake, squeeze, keeping the pressure the same, and slowly pull up. Breathe, squeeze, pull, stop squeezing, ta-da, flower. If only the flowers really grew that quickly in my garden. Now using tip number 352, this is also known as a leaf tip, we're going to make, yes, you guessed it, leaves. Here's something to remember to ensure that you're holding the tip correctly. Think of it as a bird's beak, and if a bird was going to be eating, its head would be going up and down. Therefore, you're going to hold this tip in that same manner. Now, using the same process we used to make the flower, squeeze and slowly pull up. There's your leaf. So I'm going to make another flower, a 2-toned flower, but this time I'm not going to be using a coupler. I'm just going to drop the tip directly into the disposable bag and cut off just enough so that the opening of the tip is exposed. This is completely optional, but I like to have a tall container, fold my bag over it. It just makes it a little easier when I'm filling up my bags with icing for this method. So once you've made a cuff on your bag, take one of the colored icing and just line the inner part of the bag, leaving the center free. Here you're going to add a different color that's going to act as stamens. Be careful, don't squeeze too hard. You don't want the colors to mix. You may have to squeeze a little icing into the bowl until both colors appear at the opening of your bag. Oops, pulled a little too quick and now I have a broken petal. No problem, I'll just cover it up with a leaf. Shh, don't tell Mother Nature, she'll get mad. Let's make some icing cartridges. These are always fun to make. It's really easy. Take some plastic wrap, spread some icing and smooth it out. Now, take another color and just squeeze it up the center. Now, carefully bringing the 2 edges together, form a casing. When you're using this method, I like to use a large bag with a coupler so that I can swap out cartridges and tips without having to make a new bag. So here's a tip. If you have leftover cartridges, just store them in a zip top bag and throw them into the freezer. When you're craving cupcakes, bake up a batch. By the time your cupcakes are baked and cooled down, your icings come to room temperature. Then just pop those cartridges into a bag with your favorite tip and pipe to your heart's content. I hope you find this video interesting. If you try any of these techniques, please tag me at McCall's Baking Kitchen. I'd love to see your creations. As always, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, give it a thumbs up, a like, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next week with a new video.